Good morning, grade 9s. I hope you all are doing well. Today we're going to look at the chapter Ratios. It is on page 12 in your textbook. And underneath ratios, you must be able to do three things. You have to be able to divide something in a specific ratio, and you also need to be able to increase or decrease something in a specific ratio. All of these examples must please be in your book, in your working book. So please make a heading Ratios, page 12, and write today's date on the right-hand side of the page. Draw a line and write down these examples. You can pause this video and then you leave a few lines open underneath each example, and then you can come back to the video and see how I do the examples. Okay, the first example here. They ask us to divide 120 in the ratio 2 to 3. Now, when you hear the word divide, you must immediately look at all the different parts in this ratio. A 2 and a 3 together gives me a total of 5 different parts. The 2 plus the 3 gives me 5 parts. Okay, so the one person will get 2 of the 5 parts, while the other person will get 3 of the 5 parts. Okay, so let's work out how many each person will get. So you will say 2/5 of, which actually means a multiplication, Moss, all right? So 2/5 of 120, that we must work out. And you can use your calculator to do that, and that gives me an answer of 48. So one person will get 48 parts of the 120. The other person will get 3/5 of 120. So 3/5 of means multiplication, 120, and if you work that out with your calculator, you will get 72. All right, so there we have divided 120 in the ratio 2 to 3. Again, just a reminder, when you see the word divide, you must look at all the total parts that is in the ratio. And if it's in the ratio 2 to 3, the total parts is 5. So then the fraction will be out of 5. The next example is where we have to increase something in the ratio 2 to 3. In this case, we have to increase 120 in the ratio 2 to 3. Now, if we increase, something gets bigger. So our final answer must be bigger than 120. All right. Now remember, we are not dividing now, we are increasing. Okay? So look at your ratio. The ratio is 2 to 3. Which one is the biggest? Remember, we want to increase. I hope you all agree with me that 3 is bigger. Therefore, I write the 3 as the numerator and the 2 as the denominator. There's your fraction. Of 120, of means multiply of 120, and that you can work out with your calculator. That gives me an answer of 180. And look, from 120, our answer did increase to 180. The next example asks us to decrease 120 in the ratio 2 to 3. Decrease means my answer should be less than 120. So again, you look at your ratio and which one is the smallest. And I hope you all agree with me that 2 is the smallest. Therefore, you write 2 on top. 2 out of 3 of 120, of means multiply. And that you can work out with your calculator. That will give you an answer of 80. And look, from 120, our answer did decrease until we got 80. All right, guys, please, this must be in your book, so write down all of these examples. I'm also going to do another 3 examples. You don't have to write them down in your book, but also just look at them. All right, so let's do another example of dividing, increasing, and decreasing ratios. Okay, the next one here on the right-hand side, they ask us to divide 80 in the ratio 5:3. Now remember I said when you hear the word divide, you must remember that we have to look at all the parts. So the total parts that we have here between 5 and 3 is a total of 8. Okay, so the one person will get 3 8s and the other person will get 5 8s. Okay, sorry. There we go. One person will get 5 8s and the other one will get 3 of the 8 parts. Okay, so let's look how much is it. 5 8s of 80, that of means I should multiply, and that I can work out with my calculator, gives me an answer of 50. And then, what is the value of 3 8s of 80? That of changed to a multiplication, and if you work that out with your calculator, you get 30. So if I have to divide 80 into the ratio 5:3, the answer will be 50:30. The next one. Now they ask us to increase 80 in the ratio 5:3. Now remember, I don't look at all the total parts here because I'm not dividing, all right? I simply look at which ratio is bigger, because increase means my answer must be bigger than 80. So therefore I say 5/3 because 5 is the bigger ratio in this case. 5/3 of 80, that means multiply with 80. And if you work that out with your calculator, you get an answer of 133,33 rounded off to 2 decimals. And look, from 80 to 133,33, it did increase. So I'm correct. And then the last one, I have to decrease 80 in the ratio 5:3. So my answer must be less than 80. So now I look at the ratios, which one is less between 5 and 3. I hope you all agree that 3 is less than 5, so therefore 3 must be on top. 3 is the numerator and 5 is the denominator of 80, and that of should turn into a multiplication, and if you work that out with your calculator, that gives you 48. And 48 is definitely less than 80, so it did decrease, and I'm correct. Okay. So now you have 2 examples of how to divide something into a ratio, how to increase something in a ratio, and how to decrease something in a ratio. You are not going to get homework today. Tomorrow you're going to learn about speed and distance and time and so on. And then only on Thursday you will get homework on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday's work. I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.